We're going to find this out. Hey guys, it's now saying live. Hey guys, Ryan Feathers, Elite Pigeon Auctions. It's One Loft Wednesdays. Sometimes you push the button, you push it 3, 4, 5 times. Has it happened to you? Because it's happened to me. But that's okay. It does not matter because it's One Loft Wednesdays. What does that mean? You get the best of the best. We keep bringing you the best because that's what we do. So, for this next hour, hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, it all depends. If you participate, we go longer. If you're relaxing and taking your time and going slow, we're just going to cut this off at an hour. Remember, participation is key. So, on that note, sit back. It's One Laugh Wednesdays with myself, Ryan, and the one and only John Timmerman. DJ, spin that shit. Don't forget to post your comments. Your concerns, post them. Don't be shy. Shy is not what we're looking for. You can watch us on YouTube. You can watch us on Facebook. All we ask is you participate. Participation is the key to this. And we've got something interesting for you all this evening. To keep that pigeon racing spirit in you. You'll get to this momentarily. And just like that, the intro's over and we've started the game. Hey guys, Ryan Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions. As I said before, this is One Loft Wednesdays. Before we bring the one and only, the legendary, maybe we should refer to him as the GOAT from now on, the greatest of all time, John Timmerman. Before we bring him on tonight, because I know you guys are going to have questions, we're going to watch some law flying. We're going to watch some trapping today. We're going to look at the California Classic and talk to John. But before we do that, Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions, we have something to bring you, something little outside the box, extra fun, something that we think you guys are going to really enjoy. And I'm going to introduce the one and only Leah. Leah, you are with us on One Loft Wednesdays. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. It's been a while. It's been a couple weeks since I've talked to you guys. I just wanted to come on here quickly and let you all know that we are introducing a brand new series at Feathers Elite. For those of you that enjoy watching on Sundays, Feathers Elite at the races, and you've been following along Lars's team over in Belgium, his Old Bird and Yearlings racing, we thought we would put a little something together for those of you that followed us along in the pioneer days. You remember we love to do our pick birds and we love to do the pickets to win it. So we decided to put one together for our live at the races on Sundays with Lars's team. You can head on over to our website, of course, featherselitepigeonauctions.com. Here we go on our home page here. Just scroll on down to the first listing, Picket to Win It, for this Sunday, April 26th. If you click on View the Auction, you will see, and you scroll on down, not only do we have the rules here, which I will go over in a minute, but we have all 16 of Lars's Old Bird and Yearling team here as a lot. And we are going to sell pick birds for this Sunday at the races. We'll just get through here the rules, and then I'll show you how to go and find some information about each of the race team members. This is the weekly Picket to Win It. These are the official rules. The first bird to clock of the pick birds wins $160 in the pot. That's if we get all 16 picked, okay? So whoever picks the first bird to clock on race day will win the full $160 pot. That's if we get all 16 picked. Second rule, if the first bird to clock is not a pick bird, the pot will carry over to next week, okay? So what does that mean? If no one selects the winning bird, the entire pot is going to roll over for next week's pot. And of course, it's going to grow from there. Our third rule, you can pick as many birds as you want. So we've got 16 on offer. You can pick one, you can pick two, you can pick three, as many as you would like. Rule 4, each pick earns a spot also on our Feathers Elite Wheel of Fun. Since you guys like that so much, If you pick in this week's pick bird, every pick you make will earn one entry on our Feathers Elite Wheel of Fun. We're going to spin that wheel live on race day on Sunday for a chance to win, of course, a Pigeon Boss hoodie. Our fifth rule, pick bird entry will close 30 minutes before the estimated arrival time. So while Ryan and I are on live on Sunday at the races, we will let you know, okay, pick birds are going to close in 10 minutes. I will close the pick birds, and then, of course, the races will begin. Sixth rule, how to submit your pick. What you do is you add your pick to the cart, you select checkout, and complete the process. A receipt is going to be emailed to you with payment instructions over on PayPal. You're going to send the money on PayPal. It'll tell you once you check out, you're going to get an email. Follow the instructions on the invoice to finalize your entry, okay? And our seventh rule, the winner will be announced, of course, live on race day. The weekly winner will be announced live during Feathers Leap Race Day stream from the finish line. Ryan and I will be bringing it to you. So here we have all 16 of Lars's teammates here as a lot. We've got starting with the old birds, okay? It goes in numerical order. If you want to learn more about this pigeon, you click, of course, on its photo. Scroll on down. That's a cough. Got a little wing photo here, but if you scroll on down in the details, you're going to see a little short video we've done of each of the team members. It's a little 30-second video. It's going to show you, the face of the bird, the wing of the bird, and then the face again. We also have in the photos the last three, either three races, right? These are the three races that these guys have done, right, Ryan? The two Noyon
Correct.
and the Kivran. So
Yeah,
you
two
can
Timbermans.
check on the
That's right. I'm there.
photos, enlarge the photos, and you can see where this pigeon has placed. And if you want to pick it, of course, you just add the bird to your cart checkout, and we'll send you an invoice. And away we go to the races on Sunday. Ryan, what do you think about that?
Hey, I'm great with it. I know it's going to be a lot of
Excuse me.
fun. God bless you. I know the excitement's
Sorry.
just getting right. It's getting right through you. I know. And
It's getting
guys,
right through me.
goes right through you. But get in there and pick them. We will be live. Lars, Loft Manager Richard, Leah, and myself. And we're going to have some fun. And this season's going to go all the way. Remember, he is a one day long distance flyer. So you're going to get all the national races and you're going to build up. Picks are going to go back and forth. There's going to be some super birds. There's going to be birds that are going to show up first and then not show up again. But go out there and give it a try. Uh, we give you guys some opportunities, especially for people who don't have pigeons. And again, there's the Wheel of Fun. Leah, one more time, what is the Wheel of Fun there you got at the bottom? You see there is a $5 entry for a Pigeon Boss hoodie. How do I win that?
That's right. So if you guys don't want to pick a bird, but you still want to get on the Wheel of Fun raffle for the Pigeon Boss hoodie, it's $5 per spot on the wheel. And we're going to play for a Pigeon Boss hoodie. $5. Just add it to the cart. Again, checkout. You're going to get the invoice, instructions how to pay. We'll get your name on the wheel, which we're going to spin on Sunday. I think Ryan will do it at the end, like just before we sign off. We'll spin the wheel.
Sure, not a problem. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Pick it to win
So where
it.
do you
Hey,
guys
guys.
go to make your picks? Of course, featherselitepigeonauctions.com. I will make a post over on our Facebook socials as well as over on YouTube and send you guys a link if you want to participate. And Ryan,
Hmm?
I forgot to mention, you will be on this weekend for a shipping night. We're going to do a live shipping night with Lars on the Saturday, I believe, right? So everybody could take a look at the participants before
Yes.
they go in the basket, before Lars heads to the club.
Yes, you will see them all live. You'll see how he motivates them, and he will show each bird in front of the camera. You never know. You'll hear what we say back and forth, and maybe it will help you make a pick. But hey, do your homework. Again, it's going to run all week. It closes roughly 30 minutes before the birds come home on Sunday, and you get to watch a live race from Belgium. Noyon, probably going to be 40,000 birds in the race. Let's see if you can pick it to win it. Am I right, Leah?
Absolutely. It's a fun way for you guys to get involved, to participate, win a little bit of money, and have a little bit of fun early in the season, Ryan.
All right. Well, you've explained it quite well. I'm going to thank you for this. Now I'm going to bring on the greatest of all time. So,
All right,
if
guys. Happy
if you guys
picking.
be picking, if you guys have more questions, let us know. Here he is, all the way from sunny San Diego. On Timberman. How's it going, John? Oh, wait. 1 second, John. I made a crucial mistake. Had you muted. How's it going, John?
It's good, bud. How's it going with you?
Hey, it's okay. Another day in paradise. We're finally getting weather where it's you can kind of go out in a t-shirt, so it's kind of good. Um, so that's nice. But what about you? What's going on in San Diego? What's up?
Busy, buddy, busy. A lot of birds came in over the weekend, a lot of vaccinations, a lot of chipping, and just staying the course. Things are good. Birds look good. Weather's been fair, at least the last couple of days. I mean, prior was good. A little windy, but overall, no complaints.
No, well, I guess that's the main thing. And you found so far, what are we now? You're in about a month. Health looking okay, not so bad, average, like
No, no,
normal.
it's typical. At this point, sometimes you're looking for a little bit of eye cold once in a while, just because it gets kind of damp in the morning. Um, but no, everybody right now is doing really well. It's the conditions for sending have been great. I mean, 2 weeks in a row, well, actually longer since the season. Being in California and receiving birds in New York or Florida, it's all been next day. So it's been really good.
The Post is picking it up. I noticed one thing. The Post changed the rules on giving back people's money. So I think they've picked up the pace on it a little bit. I don't know. You think they're making a better effort? What do you think?
I think that it just depends on the airlines and what conditions you have going, across the country. The storms or the heat, those are all setbacks. But I don't think we have. I mean, I know Texas, they had some rain, but I think, on our end, pigeons were arriving, one day, majority of them. So
Yeah.
on my end, it's been I've been very fortunate this year.
Yeah, and how do you find do the breeders do a lot of them notify you before sending?
Yeah, most of the breeders have been really good. I mean, things have progressed in the last, I don't know, a couple of decades, or even a normal four-bird box. It's not the normal sizes before, but a three-bird, guys are putting some guys are putting two. Um, so guys are just more conscientious about how they're shipping, and it shows. I mean, maybe that's the factor why we're not having as many problems. Myself having problems with the babies. Um, no, everything, like I said, everything's been good.
Yeah, and we look here. This here is the grounds at the California Classic. And I'm seeing now birds on the outside, on the outside of the aviary, John. What's going on? What can I'm taking this is going to be what the first group?
This is still the first group. Well, let me take that. Yeah, when I say first group, first 3 weeks, they've already been out numerous times, and whatever day's looking good, they go out, and every day they go. If not exercising, then they're back in the settling stage. But we try to get them out 2-3 days a week for sure, and then we rotate. So as we're working on the ones as you see on the screen on the left, the ones on the right are starting to trap train and get those ready. And then in a week, they'll be pushed over to the ones on the left, and we just keep going and going, if that makes sense
Yes.
to you.
Yeah. And I notice here. When I watch it, you see the birds come down onto the gravel, and then something a leaf blows by and spooks them up a little bit. But for people wondering, there is absolutely right now for you no interest in saying to these birds, "Get up and fly." Correct?
No, no, none at all. This is just because there's always going to be, let's say in a couple of weeks, there's going to be a group that wants to get up and go, and we're adding to the group younger ones, and we don't want them to get up too high and start carrying birds away. So this group kind of right here will pretty much stay with one another. I think it's like a 400 or so. We'll try to make it around 600-700, and then that will be a group, and then we'll start working on the next 600-700, and then the next 400-500, whatever it may be. But I try not to, if I can keep the flocks on the least amount for the beginning, that's what I prefer. I don't prefer in a couple thousand birds at this point going out and so many of them not knowing anything yet. It just takes time. In another 2 months, that's a different story. Then we can start really focusing on the group. But at this point right now, it's just the routine. It's just going out. They know what to expect. And as you see, when we call them in, it's got to go like clockwork.
Right now, I got a question here, but I want to ask, what do you find? Because you've worked with all different size numbers, what do you find is a nice is just about the max size for a loft line? Is there a number in mind?
It just depends on how the flock is, how they're feeling. 500-600 pigeons out of whack. That's a group. But that's a good number to get up and go. And when you start getting into a couple thousand in the sky, then it's a kamikaze. But after a week, 2 weeks of training, road training, that all changes. So then it doesn't matter. But in the beginning stages, I prefer, 500 on average, 400-500, and move to the next 400-500, and you just get a little bit more control.
Yeah. Do you find pigeons injure themselves less as well?
It just varies, it depends. At this point, even now, we start really watching the weight. We don't like to keep them too heavy. It depends if the winds kick up. Like this morning was just kind of breezy, but then 1 o'clock came and, we got 18 mile an hour winds. And yeah, that's when you're going to get injuries and birds are going to be, overflying the loft and problems. So this time of the year for us, this is normal now. It's cool. But breezy and windy. And that's another reason why I don't like to have those birds flying too much, because if all of a sudden they start feeling good and the winds do pick up, they'll just get carried away. And with us, if they get carried away over another valley, you don't see them.
And guys, wait till you see the training video John and myself put together. We did a little, and I haven't showed it yet because I don't want people to get confused. But we put together about an hour training video where you see these valleys. And I'm going to tell you something. There's one thing I think John should do at his race is put a tour bus so people can see the first 25 miles. And when you see it, you're going to go, wow, these pigeons they make a mistake and they're not sharp. See you later. Nice to know you. Forget going to Tijuana. They can be over just the other side of the next mountain and they're gone. But we've got a question here. Is the final race, John, is it 350 or 400 miles? How would you describe your final? Because you have two final races, but the main final for the main race is how far?
The main race is 305. We're flying in November, late November. Time, the time changes with us. So our daylight, we run out 4:30, 4:45. So as we get into the second race, which is the 350, we usually get birds around 1:45, 2:15, and you got 2 hour window to get pigeons. So it's almost like flying a 500 where the daylight runs out. And that's one of the reasons why we 300 and a 300, we call it a 300 and a 350. That's what we do. That's what we've always done in San Diego. And it wasn't because we're fearful of the distance. It's just daylight. The daylight runs out.
Yeah, and he's 100%. He's spot on. You in the main race, you get that 305 race, and then there's the encore, which goes out a little bit further. Both races are very good. They're very challenging. And if you go on John's site, the California Classic or the Royal Cup, and you go to the archives, okay? Look at the man's track record and just take a look. Do your research, do a little bit of homework. Don't take our word. Take the results year in and year out. You will see the speeds. You will see how many birds make it, how many birds go to the finals, how many birds go to the encore. You'll see that all there. He's got a great track record doing this from 2003 and before till now. Track record, track record, track record. This is why he's your Michael Jordan of one Loft racing in the United
Yeah.
States. I call him the GOAT. Hey, I'm
Hey,
giving this to you. You earned it.
hey, I mean, hey, you're only as good as your team, and you're only as good as the birds that get sent in. And that's the key, is to find the good ones. There's
Yes.
a lot of people. We all have pigeons, but to find those good ones, that's what it's all about.
Hey, hey, John, before I get to some more of the comments, do you not, you know, you're a very good handler. You're spot on. You're focused to detail. Everything's great. But do you not agree with me? You're only as good as the last time those birds go out. Like today, you let all those birds out. They all fly away. Man, you go, geez, or you have a bad toss, or you have a bad final race. You're only as good as that last time out. And I think it holds some weight, but the years of your consistency are second to none.
Well,
Handling
I mean,
big.
the key is, right, you do your homework before you even get going into this, and there's so many. Everybody's going to have an opinion, of course, but uh, I've been doing it so long that I've learned. I've been kicked in the balls many times, and you get up and you go. That's it builds character. That's what I always tell the guys that are with me, and you man up. That's it. That's what it comes down to. It's just no different if you're club racing, and that's kind of the situation we have across the country. So many guys don't race anymore that you have to learn to lose before you can really be a champion. And that's, to me, that's always, if you don't win, you move on to the next win. Next week's another race, and that's how we look at it with the pigeons here. The difference is, for this race, they don't necessarily have to be to win to be good pigeons. And that's something that has taken years for people to understand, because they don't realize the course. Those breeders that have been with me for years, they understand it, and they're reaping the rewards. They're breeding. They're just like the people that we've done these interviews with. They speak for the race. That's it.
100%. They keep playing the game. And guys, if you want to find good, solid pigeons to breed from, send them to the California Classic, the Royal Cup, and the San Diego Triple Crown. Send them. Try the course out. You will see. If you can finish it, take them home and try to breed out of them. We've said it time and time again. Now, we got a couple comments, and I'll get to them, guys. Hold on. You're playing the game tonight. Congratulations. Play with me. Talk to me. Talk to John. If you have questions, ask. There's no stupid question. If it's a stupid question, well, I'm still going to ask it, and we'll roll our eyes and we're going to answer it. But there's no question that's stupid, so don't worry about that. First question I have here: if you're participating in the California Classic or the Royal Cup, please let us know. Another comment we have here is Randy12 says, what age, John, do you prefer to receive a team? And do you prefer to receive a team all at once or in different stages? There's a two-part question there.
I mean, I'm very easy. I don't prefer, put it this way, I don't prefer babies that still have the nest hairs. If they actually drop the flight, I'm okay with it. Over the years, I prefer older than younger. Now, the Triple Crown, Ahmad, he prefers them real young, and that's because of where their loft is situated, closer to the city. they have real serious issues with red tails. So he can't get away with what I get away with here. Uh, Not that it's any easier, because pigeons, like I mentioned, if they get up, they get over those valleys, their history, or they just have a tendency to drift away faster. But I don't deal. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I have the predators as well, but not like they do.
Okay. So, all right. And Randy also has two questions here. John, in the main loft right now, uh, what's the feeding like? What are you feeding the birds roughly? What kind of a mix? Or are you feeding them,
Um,
cutting them back, or filling them like pigs?
no, they're just over an ounce of pigeon, roughly, give or take. Like today's gonna be colder. Tomorrow they won't be let out, so I'll feed a little on the heavier side. We're at 14 to 16%. And if need be, we'll throw some pellets in the mix, um, a handful, just to give them a little higher protein. Um, Not so much on the fats right now. It's just more or less just building and letting the babies develop.
Okay. Randy also asked, in the main loft, anything in the water?
In the water, we use some oregano products. We've actually, there's a new person that met a few weeks back, Manuel. He carries a product, Electrofly, which some of the one off racers have been using. Very similar to what a product that I've been using for 4 or 5 years now. It's called Vitmin. Comes out of the Philippines. But this particular product, Electrofly, is very similar. Um, it has a salty taste to it, and so anyways, I have administered it with the birds, with the intake of the pigeons. And what it does is just balances the electrolytes, and it just puts on a little bit of weight to them, which is good.
All right, I'm just going to switch a question here. Manuel Alfaro Farm says, we are Electrofly Loft for flights. Is
That's
that
him. That's him.
okay?
Yeah.
So there he is. Well, you know what we might have to do? We might have to get him on and talk about the product, eh?
Yeah, that's fine.
Maybe we'll do that next week if he's interested, if he's listening.
Well,
Um,
I know he's been taking care of some of the one-off races. Um, One particular fancier that actually just sent me birds yesterday, Blue Angels Classic, which, by the way, these Chad Ward, he's excellent. He's an excellent handler. He didn't have the race results he had. This year was a little difficult for him, but him and his father and his brother, they got a chicken background, I should say, and they just know how to condition the pigeons really well. Over the years, I was really impressed. So, but anyways, he's used the product, and he spoke highly of it, and so I gave it a shot. And I mean, it's too early for me to say anything yay or nay, but from what I've seen, it doesn't hurt. And like I mentioned, it's very similar to something that I've used in the past. So Manuel is a local. When I say local, he's 60 miles from me. So it's kind of cool. He's very enthusiastic about the sport. He's going to be, I think we'll hear more of him, and I think that's great. I mean, that's what we want. That's what we're hoping for. And especially in my backyard, to have somebody that's close and can be part of something. Uh, we're very
hey,
fortunate.
hey, John, I know Pigeon men are always looking for that cure, that one up, that little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it's great to talk to people that are trying to build things and make things, and maybe Manuel, we're going to get him on. We're going to look into that. He did post a few questions here, so which is great. We're going to get in touch with you this week, and maybe we'll have something together. Milton's got an interesting question, John. Now, you've been doing the race long enough. And guys, we're going to get to more questions. There's more and more questions, and that's great. You guys are participating. Hey, ask the questions. Get off your fingers. Don't sit on them and type. Punch them in. You got the greatest of all time here, John Timberman. Milton from Hawaii says, I'm just curious, John and Ryan, what are your favorite strains for one loft races? What do you think, John? What are the best strains?
Strains.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, for me, for my course, it's been a Gabby and then Leo Herman cross,
Okay.
and some of the Cannibal Blood. It's always been discussed for the last 10 years. Johnny Lynn tapped into that. Was very fortunate to acquire some birds from Kenny Chen, and that was the start for many years of success for the guy. So that was, that's they got the speed, they still got the toughness, and it's the
You, you,
results have shown.
and guys, I just want to throw this at you. When you hear uh, Cannibal, Dirk Van Dyke, you hear Leo Hermans, okay? Leo Hermans lives near Burlar, not far away. Okay, he played in the Diamond, Vermont, playing week in, week out between 25 to 50,000 pigeons on sprint. Same with Van Dyke. We had Eddie Jansen drop off birds at our place there in Burlar today. He was best friends with Van Dyke. Cannibal, cannibal, cannibal. Do you know Eddie Jansen named the cannibal himself for
Well,
Van Dyke?
well, even well, you take David Clausen with his Hubans, and he brought in a Leo Herman pigeon, and he won champion bird. That was about 5 6 years ago, I guess. But the Hubans also have been a strain that may be from Dave or down from Rosier's. They've been great for the course. Tougher pigeons.
I'm not, guys. I will tell you this: Yelly Rosiers, Stefan Lambrechts, Leo Hermans, uh, Dirk Van Dyke. These guys, they all play in the most deadliest area in pigeon world. There's a reason why you see the Yelly Rosier's birds show up. You see what he does. You see how he plays. But the competition, you have to come to Belgium and you have to see it. John, we're going to get you this year to come. I got some guys I want you to meet. You're going to totally love it. Going to be a lot of fun. But I'm going to say this: it's not surprising what you've said. Van Dyke, Cannibal, Sprint Pigeons, Leo Hermans, fantastic, and then Gabby Vanderbilt. Gabby knew how to pick pigeons from guys, and he knew how to hide it, but he knew how to go for the top pigeons. It is what it is. But you're talking about
Well, I mean, not to mention he was a loft that he didn't want the one hit wonders. He didn't want the 17, 1800 yard pigeon. He wanted a difficult, again, that's what I stress is when a race only sees a small percentage come back, they think it's a bad race, but you got to give credit to the birds that come back. That's the name of the game. The philosophy has been these guys, so many people have been brainwashed the last 5 years with speed, but they're forgetting this is homing pigeons. It's about the test of and that's where that's where I bring up the course where it's challenging and it's exciting and other participants have always said, I mean, if one can do it, where's the rest? That's the game. And unfortunately, I'm a punching bag when it comes to over the years on the day of the race. What happened? What happened? It's been like that for us for 40 years in San Diego.
John. I'm going to say this, and I hope you take it with you. But when you're sitting there waiting on a race or on a training toss or whatever, and when that first bird comes, I've always said to myself, okay, it's done. One can do it, they all can do it. And it's the truth. And you have to think like that. And I know people are very quick to say, oh, he had a terrible toss, he had terrible this, terrible that. When you let them out of that transporter, or you let them out for a loft fly, whatever you do, they are in the hands of Mother Nature and their own decisions. John, you don't control that anymore. You don't
No.
control if they go left to the canyon, right to the canyon. You don't control if a falcon comes through. You do not control that. It's on them. And I think people need to understand that. One comes, they all come.
Well, that's just it. I mean, I'll use flying in the club the last few weeks. I've had a couple good races, and then this last week, um, it turned out to be kind of an upside down race for most of the fanciers. And one particular fancier, who I always said the Russian, he's very he's one of the top here. Well, he had the worst race in the club. He shipped 50, he had 10 on the day. He's the first one to boycott a one loft race. But he looked at me and he's, he's got all these excuses. He's the race secretary too, and he's bitching and complaining and blah blah blah. And I'm like, buddy, that's pigeon racing. Doesn't matter. On any given day, something can happen. Obviously, you must have did something wrong, because the rest of us had, fairly good returns. But of course, he was upset because he had an army, and things happen. And what people don't realize is, sometimes when you fly these short races and these pigeons are coming in, bam, 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 you have to ask yourself, okay, it's about wing time and it's about experience. And that's where a lot of guys fail in the one loft race. These pigeons coming at 140, 180, 200 miles, you look like a rock star when you got 4 of them in the top 20 or top 50. But you will not see those pigeons on race day, because you're going from a 3-hour, 3.5-hour toss to where now the race is going to be 6, 7 hours, sometimes 8 hours. And it'd be a totally different type of pigeons coming to the top. So when someone's asked me, how come I didn't score? Well, hey, I'm a handler. I am there to get your pigeons as quickly home as possible. So when I fly the 100, 140, 200, I have those birds dialed in where there's not supposed to be any mistakes. And I'll have birds home in 5, 10 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes. That's what you're looking for. But when the majority of them are home within 15, 20 minutes, what did they learn? You got to remember, these are young pigeons. You're going for a derby, and you got a 3-month window, 4-month window to prepare these pigeons. So many people across the country, they're all looking at that. It is great to have consistency. It's great to have pigeons that are winning average speeds. But when all of a sudden Mother Nature throws you a curve, and it's happened here, like I mentioned, San Diego, it's happened now in Florida, it's happened in Texas, and the people sit there with their, with their thumb in their mouth going, what happened? And they're sitting there blaming the guy that took care of the birds. But you have to stand back and look, why? Because most of the pigeons are home in 2, 3 hours, majority times. And now you get into a 7-hour race, it's a whole different game.
That's right. We got a couple questions, so let's get to them, because, man, they're participating tonight. Quick question, John. How many does he have checked in so far? California Classic, how many birds you checked in? World Cup, how many you checked in?
Today, I think I didn't check into today's, but today, I think I'm about 875 maybe. Just
Okay.
under, I think I should be close to 900 now.
In the California Classic and Royal Cup?
Royal Cup was about 10-15, so I think I'm about 420, 415,
Or,
maybe, yeah, 415, somewhere around there, 420.
all right, 420, 900 roughly. Uh, when is he, Randy has another question. When is he cut off receiving the teams? What's your last, when can they squeak him in?
I stopped June 15th.
June 15th. My friend from Australia, Jeff Henderson, says morning from down under.
Hello, Jeff.
Yeah, he's coming. You're going to meet him. Have you ever seen a man in a mankini?
I think you showed me that, the one, that thing, that
Yeah,
selfie you have on your
yeah.
phone. I don't want to see it anymore.
Well, hey, he's gonna parade in front of your loft. He's doing it. He's doing it for you.
That's all right. That's whatever it takes for the reviews. That's good.
Okay. Hello, everyone from Biz Blood Good Race. Okay. Michael Beaver says, "Oh, question, John. This might sound crazy, but Michael Peebler, he's asked this question a few weeks. I haven't been able to get it out to you. Are there trailer parks near you?
Yes, up the
Yes,
street.
there are. So, Michael Peebler, if you're coming down, trailer parks are not far.
If does he have a camper? Is that what he's asking?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're just a mile or two down the road. You could camp out. Not a
Okay.
problem.
All right. Michael Peebler also asked another question. How is your old bird season going, John?
Well, uh, 2 weeks in a row, I took first just by seconds. So when we went from a fast race to I think 13, 1400. But then, like I said, this last week, this last week we raced on a Monday and we raced again on a Sunday. And I was just disappointed in myself because I just wasn't able to train. Since we had a rough one on Monday, I kept the birds in Tuesday. I loft flew Wednesday. Thursday, I flew my hens. They flew an hour and a half. So I was on the fence. Do they need it? Don't need it. So Friday I flew them, and they didn't really fly well. And I should have gave them a short toss, but I did not. And I paid the price. I ended up 15th. But it still bums me out because the pigeons were separated in group. I mean, they were just spread out. And when mine came, they were just bombing in there. But I think that they weren't on point by me not taking them out. So I was bummed.
Okay, good answer. Americo says, can you give your opinion on the use of antibiotics to improve pigeon performance?
There's a time and a place for antibiotics. And yes, antibiotics, there are certain things, maybe Baytril, maybe Tylenol products, or maybe the respiratory products, maybe ivermectin, maybe just worm medicine. Yes, there are things that will, you're cleaning the system of the birds, and the birds might have a bug. So that's where the antibiotics and stuff come into play. These pigeons here, like you see, they have not been on antibiotics yet. I've been waiting to see, but they're feeling good, looking good. They're playing around. There's no need. Why am I going to do it? Not doing it.
Right. And
So,
and I will say, if you get on an antibiotic run, you go like this in a season. It's like taking drugs yourself. Think about it. If you're taking, I mean, steroids is one thing, but if you're taking all different types of drugs, it hurts the system. So I don't, as much, you want to clean your pigeons out before racing, great. And then keep them on natural stuff and watch. I think you're better. And again, the better condition pigeons are, the less they pick up. My thoughts. David Tracy says, what about birds? This is a good question, John. We talked about this last week, but we can talk about it again. What about birds going in and out, or looking in an aviary, or looking out a window, or maybe a guy puts them on the landing board and they're already flying 10 minutes and then send them to you? Good idea, bad idea? What do you think?
um, sometimes that's a roll of the dice, because if a pigeon is out observant already and he's ready to go, I mean, what's going to happen? He comes out the chute, he's in the air, and that's not always a good thing. Too strong, of course. It's not to say that he can't be broken, broke to the loft, but yeah, I mean, I have ways to handicap him a little, but and there's been quite a few older pigeons, but it's just like, again, you win by having an older pigeon because it should not go downhill. You lose on the sense that you do the process of settling, and some pigeons, as you mentioned, Ryan, I mean, good ones, they come back, but sometimes, if some of these babies, they get up in the air, they just go.
John, before I get to Mike Green's question, I thought of something really fun, okay? Like something outside the box. And I said it would be interesting for guys at the end of their young bird season, okay, to pick a pigeon in their loft that's not their very best, but that's about between 5 and 10 in their loft of young bird team, okay? And you send them to a one loft race, okay? It's a one loft race that's only there to break these birds. And just to do it, an experiment, maybe 100 or 200 bird experiment, just to see, so people can learn this, so people can see what's going on. If there's a benefit, I do believe smart pigeons break quick. Dummies are, John, I'll say something. When I'm I wean youngsters, and I put them on the floor, and you put 20 down, and everybody, after a day or two, everybody's eating. They're all eating good, and there's that little blue bar, or checker, or white flight, or mealy pied, or grizzle. It's running around your feet, just screaming, wings up, screaming. Just take it and put in the garbage can. It's stupid. You know, I don't play with pigeons like that. I don't. That's a call for me. Same thing. I don't show pigeons where to drink water. I'll fill the drinker up. I tip it for them. I'll put it down on the ground at first so they can get a drink. I don't dunk pigeons. If I see pigeons that can't find water, what are we, stupid?
Well, that
Follow the,
brings us back.
follow the leader.
That brings us back to just like the old timers with culling pigeons. Um, you're mentioning what you see in a loft. Other guys with the weight of the pigeons, maybe some of you, yeah, some of you beginners haven't heard that sometimes they wouldn't feed the birds for 5 days, and those pigeons that dropped the weight, they're history. They were removed. So what Ryan is saying, there is some truth to that, and I've noticed. I mean, I know a few other breeders that are actually close to me that share these thoughts. That same thing. If the pigeons, if it's that dumb and it can't figure it out, it's not worth. It's something that it's removed. Put it that way.
I always say, and I think people forget this, and we've got a couple questions, and I'm going to ask Mike's first. Mike says, and this next question after Mike's, I'll elaborate on more. Mike's going to participate in your race. Hey, Mike, come on now. Hey, you're representing Feathers Elite. Make sure you win this damn race. But Mike says, what do you think fly best, in your opinion, hens or cocks?
If it's a crazy race, cocks come to the front with me. I think I prefer hens overall, even in my own backyard, because you need on a statistical level with racing, the hens are a higher percentage. But what we found in one-off races, the times that I had, 2 or 3, or cocks are always right there. So my answer is always, it's just got to be a good one. That's as simple
Hey,
as that. All right.
here's a question though. Like I know when I was running my one loft race, I'd see those young cocks, and John, those young cocks. They're like the guys at the bar. They got the nice hat on. They look great. Well, nice muscles. They're strutting, but they never close. They never finish. I always find it, and I found it a few times in my one loft race. The cocks that were cocky, but they might take the hen into the corner quietly and just be very calm. I found those were the cocks that seemed to do it. I found the idiotic or the real look at me cocks. They weren't the ones to do it. That's just my thought. Did you notice the same?
I don't, like I said, I try not to get into paying attention to what's good or what's bad, but there are pigeons that will go to the top perch right off the bat, take over the loft. I mean, that's going to happen. But as I mentioned, as a rule, to find good cocks, it's slimmer than finding, on average, there's going to be more hens. So again, that's you as a fancier to know what you're looking for within maybe your own family of pigeons. And of course, it's a roll of the dice on the day. If it turns out to be a warmer day, clear blue skies, well, the cocks always tend to do better on those days. Overcast or cloudy, you're looking for the hens. That's what I've always, as someone who's always raced, and here for us in San Diego, that's in our own backyard. There's a higher percentage of hens that are always more dominant in the races.
Well, Mike Green, if you're watching, you send those hens, Mike. Do it for me, bud. Send the hens. Let's see what you get. Hey, put one cock in there. Pick one. We have a comment here. Did a best kittle cross ever win on your race, John?
I haven't. I know the best kittle pigeons have been doing well. but not I haven't not in the last couple of years. I haven't heard that yet.
Well, hey, if you got Best Kittles, let's try them out on this course. Don't be afraid. The name says it all. Best Kittle. Guys, can anybody, do you know what Kittle means? Yeah?
No.
It means Kivran. It means 65 miles.
There you go. Yeah.
Hey,
Well, I mean,
hey,
I know Gus Jojo.
yeah.
He didn't have the best Kittle, but he had the Kittle. He had a cross of Kittle and Leo Herman's in there, and he did really well a few years back.
You know, John, if you come to my place in Burlar, I'm going to take you to a neighbor of mine. He's about 2 football fields away. He's a very old man, Marcel Kurlemans. And he said, and it's very cute. He says, "You want to win sprint races? Have sprint pigeons. You want to win middle distance races? You make sure you start with sprint pigeons. You want to win the 1 day long distance? You make sure you got sprint pigeons. When you have the brains, you can extend the body, you can extend the power, but it all starts in the brains. And I'll tell you, we're looking here, Kittle pigeons. You see them winning one off races. Flying Key Ram, flying Noyon, flying against 25, 35, 45, 50,000 pigeons in these races and being right at the top. If I say to anybody, if you're going to start with sprint pigeons and go from there. I don't know, John, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I saw that trend a few years ago on the international races, and it's kind of gone this route as well. We go back 4 years ago. There was fanciers that were in love with the Kittle pigeons, and at that time I was fairly new. I didn't know, but I've seen the results, and a lot of these big international races have shown true that the cross it's been good, real good.
And I am going to point this out, and I want people to understand this. One-off races work. I don't know how to say this, John. I'm not trying to be rude, but if the final race goes off good and all the birds come home fairly quick, everyone says it's a success. Yes, it's a success on paper. Some guys switch the days to make it a success. I like races that are true to a date. They follow a formula. They play within the guidelines. If it's, hey, we're racing this Saturday and it's, oh my God, 25-mile-an-hour headwinds, we're going to play. And I see guys manipulate. I don't think it's not good, but I understand why guys do it because they want people to come back year in and year out. John, you don't do it. You play basically for that week of racing, and I have
Well,
to commend you.
we've no matter what, we try to get that race off. I mean, but the weather conditions, and maybe it's because of the apps. Things have been a little bit more detailed. As I mentioned, 3 years ago, or I think it was a couple of years, 3 years ago, all of a sudden on these apps they show gusts. Well, what that all of a sudden gusts? It says 4 mile winds, but then there's 20-mile gusts. I'm like, and then, well, until we actually experienced it, where it was a hard race, and now we know if you see 15, 20-mile gusts, it's going to be brutal. I mean,
Yeah,
especially when the winds are either a cross or a headwind. For us, no, we try to follow protocol now. With we want to get a good race off. We try to be as fair as possible to the bird, and we realize that for us in San Diego, we have people coming, and the hotel and the travel and all that. That's why we have a window now. For myself, Saturday to Tuesday, those are the days we're pretty much racing. And if this was the first time in I don't know how many 20+ years that ever experienced flying a double header, 2 races on one day. And that was just to get the race off. It wasn't and of course you're just rolling the dice. Are you picking a decent day? It was decent enough to race, so we went for it. The next day turned out to be a better day. But I've had times in the past where the Royal Cup was just brutal headwinds. We didn't know, and the next day it turned out to be the opposite. The winds went the other direction, and we had a 50-bird drop, which I mean, I understand everybody loves it because everybody's got a bird on the drop, but that's not that's not what we're shooting for. We're shooting for a race. And
And hey, John, you give it to them. You follow the guidelines. This is why this race week in San Diego, the San Diego Holiday Cup, Triple Crown, the Royal Cup, and the California Classic, it is a pigeon man's paradise of pigeon racing. You're going to get hard-nosed pigeons. You're going to get pigeons that if you finish, take them home and breed out of them. Send them anywhere on this planet. And guess what? You'll get results. Jeff Henderson from Australia says 1,000 to 1,200 velocities is fantastic, a true challenge. I agree. Thousands are tough. 1,200s are tough. John, isn't it funny when the birds are in the 12s in almost any one loft race? You're noticing it throughout the states. It's a disaster. Was it like that 10 years ago?
no, 10 years ago we raced, and I mean, don't get me, back then, people had the Ardens, they had the sticklebouts, they had a family of pigeons that, they were looking for that type of day. That's why they came to San Diego. But over the years, with so many races popping up, and we have bigger drops now and high speeds, there becomes an argument on all these, Facebook or social media, what's good, what's bad. I get it. But for us, I just put my head down, and we do the best we can to race, and whatever the day is, that's the day. And that's no different than what pigeon racing was supposed to be about. Even in club level, I mean, the golden rule was if it was clear at the release and it was clear at home, you raced. What was in between, that's what's in between. But times have changed. And so, and we've learned. And so if I'm listening to 300 breeders, I just try to make the right call without upsetting anybody. Sometimes it doesn't always work that way. We try to we just try to be as fair as possible.
Yeah, and you guys are watching here on the screen. John's bringing in this group. I don't have the whistling playing. Okay, that's the whistling sound. You're gonna watch these birds. It's about a 10-minute video. Again, guys, uh, this is they've only been out a few times. You're looking at a few hundred birds here. They're taking their time coming in. I think it's great. Watch it, enjoy it. You're watching the California Classic. Uh, Manuel Torres says, "Hello, Ryan. Hey, hey, hey." First drop equal first says, "This is the best one off race in the country." I agree. If my bird wins, I'll name it. I'll name him Ryan. No, don't name him Ryan. That's a bad name. Uh, Follow the bouncing ball. Okay, I always do. Wyatt Dahl says, "Ryan, you suck. You have no money. That's why you don't enter any one-off races." Hey, Wyatt, you said it straight. John, I suck. I completely suck. God damn it, eh?
Hey, even for those guys that watch, be part of. I've always say, if you're not a part of this, be part of these races that cater to these events, because you meet people, and it's whatever to promote the sport and be positive. And not because
Oh,
like this whole thing with what the California Classic or Royal Cup. I mean, I'm just sharing what people have asked over the years to do, and so we just take it for what it is. But when you go to these events, it doesn't matter if it's here in the States, or maybe overseas. It's great. It's really something that, like what Ryan mentions, here you have a guy that you all have someone to make contact with and show you, he could point you in the right directions to go to Belgium, what to eat, where to see. Man, that doesn't get any better. I don't think, outside of Gannis 20 years ago, that there's really not a whole lot of people that can do that for you. And, but when you go to any of those shows that they have over there, it's a great experience. It's a lot of fun. Handling pigeons, sure, but just to go and have a good beer and have something good to eat, there's nothing better. It's a memory. It's memories that you don't forget. And it's no different than when you come to our backyard here in San Diego, when you're able to, not just for pigeon guys, but for your families, it's stuff you don't remember. The first time you're going to say, I want to come back. And if you come back a few times, now you're hooked. You're going to want to be part of it.
Yeah. And hey, poor Wyatt, he's judging me. How did you know? I don't even know how Wyatt knew me that well. He does. I'm as poor as a church mouse, and I couldn't win a pigeon race. You got that right. You pegged me right. But you know what? Remember, I will say this to everyone. Your lives are about this big, short, and small. Before you know it, you're in the ground dead. So Wyatt, don't waste time on this shit. Follow something that you like. Don't tune into this show. This isn't for you. Anyways, moving forward, because Wyatt's made me move forward, and he's a little bit fired up. And it's okay, because you know what? He's wasting time in his life, many time in his life. You don't get it back wasting it on this show. Don't do that. Mike Green says, I've been putting my sprint pigeons to my middle distance pigeons and flying very, very well. Well, I think it's a better cross putting a sprint to a middle than going sprint to long distance. I think the middle distance pigeons, you can go left or right with them. Do you agree, John?
Yeah, I mean, a good pigeon's a good pigeon. I mean, really, if you get a smaller hen or even a medium-sized cock, if it's a good one, he's going to come at 400. You know, it just well, sometimes these sprint pigeons they can really be big, and then you just have to kind of realize that hey, if you're gonna for a big pigeon to stay up in the air 8 hours, good luck. Now, if it doesn't carry that body weight, then it can do it, but you just have to kind of put all those things. You know, you have to think about things like that.
Yeah, 100%. And you see people do different crosses, but again, they say you go more sprint to middle, and then you go middle to long. Normally, don't do a big switch, but hey, if you're outside the box, go ahead and do it. First drop equal last says kittle this, kittle that. I have no name birds, but win. Okay, that's good. Nothing wrong with this. Hey, lots of people do. Hey, you don't need names to win. You need pigeons that do it to win. Manuel says, "Is there a set date for your race, John? What's your set date for the final? Give or take a couple days.
Always remember we're 2 days. The California is 2 days before Thanksgiving.
2 days
No,
before.
no, we moved it. Take back. I'm flying 3 days before Thanksgiving now because we got the Triple Crowns in there on a Tuesday now. So I'm flying on a Sunday or a Monday.
A Sunday or a Monday. All right. And I just want to make sure you guys are seeing this. I'm just doing the trap-in video again. Let's get to the comments. The comments. Hey, John, the people tonight, they're doing it, eh? They're commenting. They're playing the game. We like this. Pigeon Flyer 2005. He's an old pigeon guy. So let's see what he asked. What are some of the best one-off races to get into the United States? Wow, that's a John. That's a question I'm going to let you run with, brother. Go ahead,
Well,
John.
I think in today's world, I think there's a lot of good one-off races. It's just a question of what you prefer, if it's faster races or if you want to go to the event. Um, you know, it's just a question of pretty much how deeply you want to be involved in the race and the big prizes and some races are really good. They don't have the big prizes. So I think that, you know, you just have to consider what kind of competition at what level you want to be part of.
Yeah, I think you're right. Um, I think you want to try a little bit of everything if you can, and I mean maybe three or four one-off races or five in a year if you can afford it. You maybe want to try a fast race. You maybe want again. You know, John, we talk about it. We've heard so many times. Uh, the races in San Diego, and we'll go back to John. We'll go back to Ron Steinbrenner, yourself, Steve Miner, and Ahmad. You guys put on races that you would see your birds show up in international races. The birds
Yes.
that flew well on your course. And I think that's something people got to look at. I mean, look at all the different speeds and study the races. Look at the archives. Do your homework on the races.
Well, it's one of those things. I mean, and that's something like back with San Diego. Uh, it's painful, not just for the breeder, but for us as handlers. I'm talking in San Diego, when the percentage of birds is not as high as maybe the rest of the country or some parts of the country. But again, you're looking for the top dogs, and that's what San Diego will provide. It will bring out the best pigeons, and that's facts. That's not bullshit. That's not over so many years, and it's been done time and time again. You have, I mean, like I said, there's these certain breeders that spoke for us, and then there's those breeders that hate me now or whatever, or we had a falling out. I don't know. I can't really say why. I really haven't had a falling out with 99% of the breeders, but um, those breeders that have had success, it's shown. I mean, they found one, two, three good pigeons in the course of 10 years, good pigeons that were loft changers. So it wasn't just the big prizes that they could win, but the course brought that out.
Mm.
When you have a high percentage of pigeons that are returning, what does that tell you? I mean, yeah, the guy did a great job, but when they all come, that doesn't tell you anything. I mean, it just doesn't work that way.
You know, John, I look for excuses. I look for real races. I look for those. I like to see a one off race. I like it to hit a 1900, a 1600, a 1200, 1100, a 1500. I like to see the different sway in the race. Then I know the guy's playing it fearless. Now, we got some comments here, and boy, we're going to fire up. And I love this shit. This is what I live for. First drop equal last says, Wyatt, this is a hobby. Let your pigeons do the talking. Good, good, good comment. And then Des says, You're right, Ryan. We shouldn't waste our time with this show. I agree. Don't. Just switch it off. It won't hurt you. You're going to get more time back. Pigeon Flyer says, I don't think birds can talk first drop. Oh, no, they don't talk. If you just watch the result sheet, you'll see it. Mike Green says, quality pigeons win. Strange don't. I agree. Oh, boy, Wyatt's back. But, John, it's hard to be supportive of other races when Ryan's here hit on every race besides yours. Hey, I've never won John's race. I've won at the Triple Crown. I've won at Stephen Ahmad's. I think actually I only won one time $1,000 prize.
No,
I
there's
think
there's
this
to
no,
to
John, hold
Wyatt.
on. John, I like this man's race because I watched what he did. Couldn't even win it. And I like what he did. So Wyatt, shut your mouth, put your birds in the race, and see if your birds can do the shit. My birds couldn't do it. But the man consistently, year in, year out, like chitty chitty bang bang. You know what he does? Shits down everyone's throat, puts it in the bag, finishes it off on a hard course. Try it out. I haven't won it. Am I going to try to? Sure, I am. Not this year. Maybe next year, the year after, I'm going to try. Because you know what, Wyatt? I'm saving up my dollars and cents to get into a good damn race. Poor Wyatt. He's having a bad day. Maybe we should give Wyatt a free entry. Do you need one, Wyatt? Let me know. I'll put your team in for you, Wyatt. I got to take a deep breath, John.
It's okay. Hey, everybody's got their opinions. It's something that,
It,
over the course of the years. I mean, I've had fanciers for 20 years, and they, have a hard time scratching the top. But that's the challenge. Um, you know, it's yeah. That's over the years. That's what it is. It's no different than any other sport where not every team can pull it off, and the same applies here. It's just
you know what?
it's
You know what, John? An epiphany come to me. Wyatt, you put a team of birds in, and I'll pay for them. I'll pay for them. You get me to the end. You get me to finish in the money. All you got to do is beat $1,000 because that's all I ever won at this man's race. Let's see what you can do, Wyatt. I'll pay for it, John. When Wyatt sends them, you send me the bill because I'm dying. I'm dying to play. And you know what? Wyatt sounds like he's got the pigeons that'll sing and dance and do all the winning for me. We got another comment here. Ryan is a bit busy at the moment, traveling all over the world, bringing top quality content. No, no, don't make that excuse for me. I can partner up with Wyatt. Listen, I'm a trip down fall over, and Wyatt's a superstar. We're going to work together. Pigeon Flyer says, thank you, John, for answering. Good job. Oh, boy, John. What can we say here?
You just take a deep breath. Obviously, that's the game. Everybody would like to see, but I've never heard of Wyatt, so I don't know.
He'll come. They always come. Oh wait! Oh, why? Listen, we're gonna give him. We're gonna give him one more little spot. You haven't won it because I have shit pigeons. Of course, I have you. Well, sure. Hey, John. You know what? I find it funny, eh? And I'm being honest. In 2011, I sent pigeons to the to Steve Miner's race and to John's or into Ron's, and I did well. And then the next year I sent back again, and I did good in both those two, but I didn't do good in yours. I sent the same pigeons, and it was so amazing. But each race, each handler, the birds felt different because of the style of the training, a little bit different, and I didn't have the birds that could handle what you were going to do. So
Well,
100%.
you
Why
got
it's 100?
what
Why it's right? I didn't have the pigeons to do it.
you got to remember. It's just like the Royal Cup in the California. I mean, the California's got twice the number of pigeons,
Mm.
so the same course and the same thing with the when the classic was San Diego Classic. I mean, there were a third of the pigeons, so the opportunity to score is higher for you, and training is a lot different when you got 300-400 pigeons versus 1,500-2,000 pigeons. It's just a different game.
And I remember being at the hotel because the one great thing at that time, 2011 to 2014, we could handle the pigeons for all the races. And I remember when you went to handle Ron Steinbrenner's pigeons, they felt too big. Like, they haven't been worked. You handle the mods, okay, a little bit more sporty. And then when you handled yours, you said, these pigeons been worked. They were darker. They were a little drier. They were a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Well, you got to
And
remember, I
it's
also
it's
I flew
it's
my
three
pigeons.
different guys.
Well, my attitude has always been I always fly to win. And when you got that many pigeons, even with pulling these pigeons out of the sky, I mean, knock on wood, my drops have always been pretty good. Um, when you got people that are 30 feet away from the loft, they got to be handled a little different, a little bit more light, a little bit more, a little bit more control. And that's the same thing with some of these other races. They'll feed the birds a little heavier, and it shows on race day. They don't have control of the bird. It's just like just like racing in your backyard. You feed too heavy, you'll get them home, but you're not going to win. And that's just it's the same thing with what I do here. Try to do at
No,
least.
and that's one thing I respected. And again, people hear me for the last maybe 8 or 9 years since I've been on here. I talk highly about this race. I never won it. I just liked the way the man did it. I liked the way he showed it. I liked the way he had the bird set up. I knew the course. It was hard. I give credit to that. Now, hey, I haven't won it. I don't have the pigeons to win it. But I look at guys like you look at guys, Joe Namelka, Dave Klausning, CL and Patty Gage, guys that constantly got in there, had the pigeons to do it, and they played the course. Now, Eddie Ortiz says Wyatt's talking out of his ass. Don't worry about that. Craig says it's easy to talk, but like Ryan says, enter the race and see what you got. Go from there. Hey, no problem. Ice's Biz Blood says, relax, brother. It's only a game. Anybody can win.
that's, that's right.
Yeah, you know what? People get so worked up. Like, hey, man, it's only my opinion. I think this is the
Well,
greatest
listen,
race on
listen.
planet Earth.
You
Like,
know,
what do you?
I met Isaiah probably 10, 12 years ago, and
Okay.
he's only improved with his pigeons, and he's 100% right. And then all of a sudden, you look, I think it was maybe 2 years, 3 years ago. When the Derby first came out, he was a first drop winner, and he's been a winner in my race, but uh, he's seen the challenge, and this is a guy that sends pigeons to Mexico, and he's a top competitor there. But you'll never see him blaming anybody, and that's with a lot of the people that are in this California Classic event, that they if they don't score, they go back. There's no excuses. We go back to the next thing, and it's just and I think that's why I give a lot of guys, a lot of races throughout the country a pat on the back, because people don't realize these one Loft guys are not there to fail. Doesn't matter if it's Florida, doesn't matter if it's your buddy over there, they're trying, and that's what you want. These guys are all putting they're sacrificing family time, they're sacrificing every day, myself included. So, people have the attitude, well, yeah, go do a one Loft race. Well, you can say that, but if you really know pigeons, you're not going to say anything, because you have to be prepared. And come race day, it's just what Mother Nature is going to give you, what kind of weather, and that will determine what's going to happen on race day. And you got to have a little bit of luck to be a winner.
Hey, that's right. Dave Tracy says that's what makes pigeon sport so interesting. So many different personalities. I'm not against a guy like Wyatt. Guys, Wyatt's nailed me. He's pegged me to the T, and I'd love to fly partners with him. Eddie Ortiz comes back and says, Wyatt, you're a rude asshole and need to find another hobby. No, no, no. We need Wyatt. He's a pigeon man. You guys, we can't afford to lose one. We need Wyatt. Let's support Wyatt. Let's get him in the California Classic. Uh, Someone says go skydiving.
Oh shit.
Hold on, John, I'm telling you, it gets better with age, bud.
Hey,
Wow.
listen, what people have to understand is this is something different. Ryan coordinated all this. He wanted to, hey, I want to try this and see where we're going with it. And this is what we're doing. I mean, my experiences, yeah, with OLRs, I'm not going to say I know it all, but yeah, I've had my experiences, good and bad. And someone like Ryan now, having his experience of going back a decade ago, being part of this, to going where he's a world traveler, seeing top lofts, and I've seen it firsthand when he's get these phone calls from these old Belgium guys. I mean, that's pretty phenomenal. There's not 99% of us throughout the United States that don't have those contacts, and he's doing it, and there's respect there. So he knows, he might get excited, but I really believe that it's for the good of the sport, and that's what this is about. It's not about the promo of, oh, it's John Timberman, blah blah blah. No, this is about giving a lot of people an opportunity to ask questions that might help you, or you might think, yeah, fucking guy's, he's old school, which is true. So,
You, John, I put pigeons on our site, and I go to the breeders and we select and we look at birds, and I push them to give direct children off their best. Push them and we push them and we push them and we push them. So the people who buy the pigeons have a chance to go to these different races or in their clubs and their combines and win. Okay? Now I can never guarantee that, but I push people to something that I think is great. And when I got on board with you, before we even got on board together for years, I said this was a very good race. Is it the greatest? Hey, he has good years and bad years, but the consistency, the payout, the people coming back, the experience of going makes it, in my opinion, better than a Pattaya, better than this, better than that. It's a different better to me. And I've been to Pattaya. I've been to different races. It's a little bit different. Now, that's just my opinion. You don't have to take it. You can say, "Oh, I don't know shit and I haven't won anything." Okay, great. Well, I've been there. I've seen stuff. That's all. And I think people get so caught up on what I say, what I like or I don't like. Just my opinion. Who am I? Nobody. Anyways, we have this Wyatt's been put on a 15-minute timeout. Don't block Wyatt. I want to fly partners with him so I can get in the winner's circle. Because you know what? I'd love to win the California Classic. John, if I'm on the first drop of the California Classic, how much money can I win?
It's all based on the drop. I mean, I've had $75,000 winners. I've had 15,000, 25 guys, 15,000 apiece. Um, it's all relevant to the entries, as is most of these other races, unless you're going to pay in advance. That's where the difference was. I mean, I used to be a race where you paid a week before, but we've had some circumstances with payment and all that, so we stopped that. And so now you pay after the 140. And a lot of it is just because of the growing participation. It's very difficult to conduct business in a 24-hour, 20-hour window. When I say 24-hour, actually it's only 5-6 hours. So we had to change that around.
Okay. We have here. He is from Indiana. Enough said. Oh, geez. I'm not well liked in Indiana. Uh, Pigeon Flyer 2005 says, "Do you see any major races like the Pattaya becoming a major permanent in the United States, or just a large race with large intake?"
Say the question again. Do I see
My, my,
any correlation with any other
permanent.
races?
So do you see any major races like Pattaya becoming a major permanent in the United States, or just a large race
What
with
I
big
see,
intake?
you always have to. What I've always seen in all the years of racing, um, sometimes you can have these big payouts, but then they fizzle out. And the reason is you have more losers than winners. Because you have to remember that in order to have these big prize payouts, someone's paying for it. So you could have that 10% of guys really make good prizes. And that's based on 2,000 birds left. But they started with 8 to 10,000 pigeons. So how many losers did you have? So most of them 3-4 years, and then they're gone. And so that's where my philosophy has always been there has to be more than the prize. Big
Okay.
prizes. It's nice. I got big prizes. I've done it. I've had big winners, and I've had multiple lofts, win something. But the most important is it's got to come to good pigeon racing and the people having a great time. That's
Okay.
always been my philosophy.
We got a message here from Hollywood Lou. FYI, Hollywood Lou sent a team to the California Classic and the Royal Cup
Thank
because
you,
of
Lou.
this show. Hey guys, I'm telling you, the race itself is great, but if you can take the time to go to it and experience it, you're going to see what I'm going to say. It's like going on a cruise ship for pigeon racing. I promise you it. And guys, this is again, maybe when I said the best race was John's, I meant, and John, I'll be honest, Ron Steinbrenner did a great job. Steve and Amon did a great job, and yourself. It was a package. Patty Gage, it was a package. It all went together. It was like a Pigeon Man's paradise trip for racing. That's what I mean. You know?
Well, we got to remember with all these races that all these articles that you have read in the last 15 years, 10 years, 5 years. Um, and as I mentioned in one of the discussions we had, but when you have people like Roger Pursoons or Ayer Camp, come into our backyard, that says something. And they're having a great time. And some of these people have taken these ideas to expand and to go take it to another level, or try, or do something in their country, or suggest to another country, and it's worked. I mean, here in the States, we're growing in the OLRs, which is a good thing, but we have to keep it to where people are enjoying themselves first. If you want to go to Vegas, go to Vegas. You'll make a lot more money faster than pigeon racing, because pigeon racing is something that it's a deeper feeling, that makes it really special. And that's what, and I share with so many of you guys, or have shared, the friendships that you make, they go for life. That's it. That's what makes it more worthwhile than don't get me wrong. I'm always looking to get a good payday too on a race when I participate, for sure. But the friendships that you meet, they outweigh that.
Yeah, hey, there's another way to look at it, guys. Brandon Jackson says, you've always mentioned the San Diego OLRs when we spoke about America. Yeah, because I experienced it. I went there, and maybe it was the first ones I went to, but it was a week of pigeon racing, and I seen some of the best American flyers that were there, and you meet people and you talk to people and you spend a week and you're doing some gambling and you get your ass kicked or you win a race or whatever, and you're talking pigeons all week. And I think you don't get that anywhere else, but in San Diego you get it if you come to it. Williams Family Loft says, Wyatt, you are a douchebag. Ryan, we appreciate you, what you do. Hey, don't call him a douchebag. He likes pigeons. He's okay. He's having a bad day. We all have a bad day. Uh, Jason says, congratulations on your program. Hey, don't congratulate me. You guys make it what it is. Pigeon Flyer says, thank you for answering the questions, John. Have a good night. And what do we got here? William says, I'll be sending my California Classic birds next week. Definitely my favorite race to enter. Round of applause. John,
Oh, thank you, thank you.
there you go. D says, what does D say here? My reading's terrible. I'm surprised Wyatt didn't cut me down on that shit. Shit. How's the best way to get birds into there's no clubs near me, of my knowledge, to do I work a team out a loft in my yard to send them to you? It sounds like he's not racing anywhere. Should he try and send a team to your race? I'm thinking that's what he's saying.
Yeah, I mean, if he's raced and he knows pigeons, yeah. But I mean, if you're fairly new to the game, then you're. I'm not saying. I think you better just come to San Diego and learn the experience first. There's no reason to get really crazy with sending me birds. My whole game isn't. I'd rather have someone learn something than send me pigeons and fall on their face. And that's just how I feel. You got to learn. You got to learn pigeons first.
Yeah, and you know what? Again, what is it? Crawl, crawl, walk, run. Start a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of, I don't know, just having pigeons around your house to send them. Hey, if you got the money and you want to, maybe it's a lottery ticket, go ahead. But I don't know if I would do that. Craig says there is no place with three one-off races in a week and great people and so enjoyable, a must experience in the racing pigeon world. And Craig, you know it. You said it perfectly. There you go. What can we say? I think he said it right. It's a great week of pigeon racing.
Hey,
Yeah.
like I've always said, I'm just fortunate enough, blessed to keep doing what I enjoy, and friends that I've come across and met. It's been great. From the people that have passed to the new friends that I've met. unfortunate. And when you can all get together and enjoy some tough racing, I mean, you really, for me, I mean, such as in the Royal Cup, we've had some really tough races, and you know, there's guys there 6:30 in the morning, and you really see, and I mean, I could see these guys right now. You know, they're there. I mean, I'm kicked in the balls. My team is kicked in the balls because it was a brutal race. But these
You
guys
didn't
are
want to go to
there.
the
I mean,
loft.
I'm not these guys. You know, they're all there on the same page. This is pigeon racing. I mean, there was no crying. There was no. They're giving me pat on the backs because that's why they come to San Diego. And some of them are doing races right now. They know that feeling. Eric Ellis, Paul Daniel, Blue Angels. No, my heart goes out to these type of guys because they've experienced tough races now in the course of 3-4 years of what happened, and they know that feeling. But in the end, they appreciate the race because it is what it is, and that's what it comes down to.
Well, 100%. And you know, people don't realize it's not all sunshines and rainbows. And you're going to have ups and downs, and Mother Nature, right? Hey, she's a real bitch when she wants to be. John, I think a great show this week. Lots of fun. You know, one thing I'll say, the people played tonight, from Wyatt to everyone that made the comments. Hey guys, you're gonna like what we say. You're not gonna like. It's okay. Jeff Henderson wants to say one thing. I need to get a friend request to John this week on Facebook. John, are you on Facebook?
No, I don't get on there. I mean, we have Facebook for the races, but I'm not. To be honest, guys, I'm not one that does this whole social media thing. I mean, I'm doing it now. You know, talking with Ryan, and showing my face to what the California Classic was. But for many years, you know, I was always asked to do a lot of promos and stuff. And I guess maybe because I'm older and I see so many younger guys getting into this, so I share a little bit more and share a little bit about my loft. But to the Facebook stuff, no, I've you can send something and we'll have it sent back. But myself, I just don't. I'm not a big. I don't want to say I'm a big fan. I just don't do it. I'm too busy. I'm just too busy with already taking care of all these pigeons.
Hey, and John, you're getting better at the filming, man. We're doing good. We're working together.
Well, I don't got much time left. Just a heads up. This phone's gonna die, and I got the
Hey,
dog locked. And I got the dog locked up in the room. So.
easy boy. Okay, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna be on next Wednesday with John Timberman. We're gonna see what we can look at this week coming up. You still got time to get your birds in, which is great. Wyatt and myself are gonna team up. I'm hoping it's gonna be Team Wyatt and Ryan the loser. Okay, or Ryan the broke loser. If Wyatt wants, my number is 416-990-0187. I will pay for everything. I'm going to go play the drums on the street. We will make this happen. This is one of the best races in the United States of America. Why? History repeats itself. Do it again this year. Trust me. That's John Timberman. You know me. I'm Ryan. Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions. Remember, guys, if you want to play with Lars Losberg, ticket to win it, get on Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions and pick your bird. John, great show.
All righty, guys. Have a great weekend.
I will say have a great weekend to you guys. We'll see you next week. And like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for flying with us. And where is the exit? Ah, there it is. Wyatt. Give me a call, 416-990-0187. Bye for now.
All right. Take care. Bye, bye.